That's cool.
Hello and greetings from Hell, Norway, the Långkibanen circuit in Norway in the very small northern peninsula here. This is very first time RCI has ever went on anything other than an asphalt track, though we do have a little asphalt portion, and we welcome you all in to the very first RCI presentation of Rallycross here on RCI TV. I'm Jesse Lee. I'm joined by Mike Jones, and of course, behind the cameras, we could have nobody else other than Nick Sednick. It's going to be an interesting few couple of hours. Heat races and a champion to be crowned for the very first time. And why not at one of the world's most famous and difficult rallycross tracks. Hello, welcome in. And today is historic for us and for our team because of the preparation involved. Going to go ahead and throw it down to Mike Jones. Mike Jones, you've been talking to the drivers. You've been talking to the people down in the pit lane to get set up. It's been a long time coming. It's been a bit of a passion project for you to get us to this point. I'm excited. Can't wait to get ready.
Yo, dude, I'm pumped for it. So we've been talking about this for a very long time. Jesse, you and I have. I'm super excited. I'm pumped, ready to go. Rallycross is definitely one of the more exciting things that we can watch here, I think. And so I'm super pumped, ready to go. I know the drivers are ready to go. We got 4 splits going, 16 drivers out today. We're gonna be doing 4 pre-qualifying sprint races, and then 2 semifinals and the final race. We're gonna be bringing you all 7 races in the next couple hours. So I think we're going to go ahead and get the driver started here in just a second. I'm going to go let them know that the lobby will be starting, and then we are going to go racing here for our first race in Norway. And Jesse, well, it's going to be a fun couple hours.
Yes, indeed. Well, this is something that we've been wanting to do for a long time. Mike Jones and I sit up late at night, instant messaging back and forth about how fun it would be to do rallycross. Actually, how funny it would be for us to do rallycross because Mike Jones and I are, well, we're a bit of a shouty bunch, aren't we? So what we're going to do, and Mike, I believe I'm correct in saying that this is pre-queue or qualifying, setting up for the stages. Am I correct?
That's correct. Yeah, so we got 4 pre-queue races, and there's points. There's points going to go for each, and Nick's going to go ahead and get us into the session now. In fact, there are points in for each, and then at the end of the 4, basically, we're going to go ahead and jump into the 2 semifinals. We're going to be running those separately, and then the top 2 from each semifinal, as well as the 3rd fastest driver in the semifinal, will go into the final for a total of 5 cars on the split. So. You've got 4 pre-qualifying races to really just say, hey, here's where we're at. I've got to be this good to get into the semifinals. And well, we're about ready to get into the first race here in Norway. So this is the Rallycross tracks, Jesse, incredibly small, right? This is 0.63 miles around this track. It's roughly a 35 to 40 second lap, depending on how stuck you get in traffic. Hell Circuit in particular, I think is a very fun one because the whole front part of the lap is on asphalt, and then the back is on dirt. You've got a couple little jumps you've got to go over in these cars, and of course we're in these RX supercars, which are just absolutely bonkers to watch drive because these cars do 0 to 60 in what, like 1.8 seconds or something like that. It's if not faster. I think they're 0 to 60 faster than F1 car, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely insane. Well, race 1 coming up from Hell, Norway in just a moment. 63% asphalt, by the way, and the rest of it is gravel, loose surface. And of course, the Joker lap, you have to take it once a race, and it has to be taken by every single driver as we get ready to start this race. 4 cars on the grid for race number 1, all of them getting
I expect so as well, and they are getting ready to go green, and they're launching off the line, and we're gonna see at least a couple people taking the Joker lap on the first lap. Jaster coming into the first corner, sorry, Jesse, I lost my video. Go ahead.
Yeah, Yasher coming out of the Joker too. Bogdi and Jostrup taking the Joker. They will be back in the behind here, but Culinary taking the lead of Annalisa Riot. Those are the 2. Oh, and with the BTWR car backwards there. That's Annalisa Riot, and there's bumping between the 23. That's Bogdi and Jostrup having contact. That'll do nothing but help Culinary get away here as they're all running off the track immediately and over the little jump there, and now continuing. These cars, of course, have already done the Joker. When will Culinary do that? He has a massive lead. That contact there was very beneficial. Coming up now, Culinary still not having taken the particular Joker lap. He's the only driver that hasn't, and why would you? Take it on the last lap. Keep in mind you can take it at any particular time, so why would you do it earlier? As we go hood cam with your leader, still yet to do the Joker in the first prelim here. The Renault looking well, nearly losing it there, getting all of the curb as you like. I believe this is the final lap coming up. Has to take it. Cannot afford any mistake there, actually. He could probably afford a mistake or 2, considering how far out he is. Bogdi and Jostrup really hurt themselves racing each other. And here it is, of course, the Joker being taken by your leader. I'm not sure he's going to be impacted here. I think he had a nice enough lead. We will see on the exit. And yes, indeed, out in front still by some margin. Everybody clear. Annalisa Riot, of course, had that spin. We didn't see it, but I wonder if Culinary had contact with Annalisa Riot, or maybe vice versa. Ooh, that contact with the inside wall there, perhaps, I wonder. But either way, it is going to be Culinary winner of race number 1. Bogdi second, Jostrup third, and Annalisa Riot third. Or, excuse me, fourth, in fact. Well, race one in the books there, and I gotta tell you, that was as spirited as I expected it to be, and I don't think it's going to get any less spirited as race one. All in favor. Culinary used that number two spot and ended up taking the win. And it's unfortunate though at the end, Yastrop having contact with the Fiesta, and that did not play into either of those favors. So it will be a Subaru taking the win here in race one. I wouldn't have called that.
I mean, hey, the Subaru STI, one of the most famous cars in Rallycross, all said and done. And obviously, there's a lot of cars that are famous in Rallycross, but I think that above all else, the cars that I've heard the most of would be that STI. So it doesn't surprise me as much to see that here at the top, though. Of course, the Ford Focus has been absolutely huge in Rallycross, in the real world, for the past little while. Jesse, me and you had this conversation a couple weeks ago with Backarud, one of the Rallycross drivers, just being an absolutely dominating force. With the M Power Focus car, and but the STI brings it over victory here in our first race, and we're gonna go tally up the points, see what we can do for the second race, and we'll be back here in just a few minutes with pre-qualifying race number 2.
Back here in the RCI TV Rallycross event, and well, race one, I promised spirited racing, and they absolutely delivered some thrills, chills, and spills. And culinary, I was wondering why in the hairpins that they were sliding it on the curb and as sideways as they were. That's not the preferred way to get around the track. Turns out Culinary had no brakes, literally had no brakes. The one and only time, well, perhaps the two occasions where that is okay is on a rallycross track or a drift track. It's basically the same thing. And power sliding his car to victory with no brakes. Absolutely excellent. What a brilliant job. My hats off to you. And that's how race one ended. Of course, we're not doing these one at a time. You are seeing one of the races that is going on. I think there's what, 3 or 4 going on at the same time. And we are broadcasting one. Of course, as we get to the heats, we'll show you each heat individually and then the final of course. But this is the prelims, and there's several going on. We're picking one at random and showing them to you. And what a crazy first round that was. I think that really set the tone for what we're going to see. Every single prediction I could have had was blown apart. I thought the inside was going to be the winner down into turn one. Wasn't the case. I thought the Joker was going to, and it probably will be later. I thought the car on the outside taking the Joker would be a strong choice, a great strategy call. It wasn't. But then again, of course, there was contact between second and third. Both of those cars that took the Joker, actually second, third, and fourth, in fact, all took the Joker. And I thought that they were going to be strong contenders, especially if you were starting from the furthest left spot, otherwise known as fourth. But that did not turn out to be the case. They are absolutely incredible, though. And I wonder if that will repeat for the next round. Reading some of your chat as always, everybody. Thank you for joining us here for the RCI Dirt 2.0 Rallycross event at Hell Circuit in Norway. Hope that you enjoyed that. Of course, there is a significant downtime between races that will probably pick up as the day goes on. There's so many races going on at one time. They all have to finish up and they all have to change places as we get the points and set everybody up for heats. Hello, Strix. I'm doing great. I've got Rallycross in front of my face. I got Nick Setnick sitting over here beside me, and Mike Jones is running in and out of the booth, so he's getting some nice cardio exercise. We're all having fun here, and hope that all of you are doing well on this Saturday evening, wherever you are in the world, as we are setting up the next race. And yes, we know that on the background you're seeing everything except Hell Norway. And we do apologize. We don't have sort of, I don't know what Nick called it, but we don't have media or something for this. I don't know. I'm not a broadcaster. Assets. He calls them assets. Thank you, Nick. We don't have assets for this. Maybe though, in the future, maybe that'd be something that we could do if we do more of these. Of course, this is a one-off event just because we sort of wanted to do that. And on behalf of Mike Jones and myself, we thank everybody. There's a absolute massive team that have devoted a little piece of their Saturday evening to bringing this event together and bring this to you. And it's always been a weird goal of Mike Jones and me to get into a shouting match over a Rallycross event. And of course, there's always technical difficulties with doing something for the first time. So we do apologize if you experience any weirdness on the stream tonight. This is our first time. Well, Culinary reckons that they fixed their brake pedal, and hopefully they won't have to use not only the handbrake in the next round. That's always so. I've never had that happen in a rallycross race. I have had that happen in Dirt Rally 2.0 on a rally stage. in the wet, as a matter of fact, and it's a very lonely feeling where you're basically using the handbrake to feel your way around corners, trying to keep the car straight. And in Culinary's case, he's trying to win a race. So well done. Just staging the next couple of races here, getting everything back together. And just be a few moments while we do that. We're trying to get all the drivers in the correct prelim race and on the correct grid. Now, we know that in the World Rallycross Championship, there are typically 6 cars in a final. I think there's going to be 5 in the final tonight due to the way that Dirt Rally 2 sizes its grids. So I do apologize for that. We would love to have had 6 cars in the finale, but I don't think that's possible due to the technical limitations of the sim. We appreciate your kind comments in chat there, everybody. Clark, Strix, and all of them. Thank you for your understanding. And oh dear, Philip Roberts has a factoid for me. Go on, Phil. All right. I can see, you can't see this, but I can see the cars coming up to the grid, getting ready to start the next round. Of course, the prelims are randomized, and we are showing you a random one of the 3 or 4 that is going on. And I see our cars coming up to the starting gates. Philip Roberts in chat says Norway has over 300 places named after Hell. But Hell Norway is actually named after the Old Norse world of Overhang Cliff Cave Hellir. Interesting. Because another factoid for you, the track known as Hell Norway here, the Rallycross track, actually isn't in Hell Norway. It's in Lunkbanen, as I said at the beginning of the stream. But it's obviously it's rough approximation. Nearest makes no difference. You'll find a lot of racing circuits have that in there where they're named after a specific place or region, but they just are outside of such. I know there's a few European tracks like that, and it's very popular here in North and South America. Well, here we go. Race 2 of prelims and a new lineup of cars on the grid. Annalisa Riot back in. This one will be looking to have a better second prelim than the first. It went all completely wrong. Went from fighting for the lead all the way down to last. Here they go down into turn 1. 2 cars immediately going off into the Joker. Mitzi and Annalisa Riot going for the Joker, and that's going to leave Fawn and Rossi going straight on the course. And that was a bold decision there to start the race. And in fact, contact there as well, I saw in the replay. And Riot going up and over the berm there, you saw.
Those guys, they expect update for us is not not going good. This is our first time having dirt stuff, and we're working fine in our test. But unfortunately, having some issues saying, but you guys are seeing the action out on screen as we're trying to get this worked out on the back end. So comms are going to go quiet for a second. Back in just a second.
Well, we do apologize for the technical gremlins that we have been dealing with. We're working through it. Of course, it is brand new to us. The streaming a sim that's not ACC, we'll just say. And this, a very new mistress indeed. Will prelim race number 3 for us on the cards here as we get ready to take the green flag. And we saw in the last race no reprieve for Riot, but our prelim round number 1 winner, Culinary, will start in 3rd place. Abdul in 1st, Fonz 2nd, and Bogdi in 4th there. The Renault Subaru, 2 Renaults, a Subaru, and a Ford, all coming together here. Abdul in the servicing area, getting ready to go green here and now. We have it. Another 4-lap race. The Joker lap, of course, needs to be taken. And here they are, lined up on the starting grid, ready to go, ready to fire off. Will the inside have that advantage into turn 1? Will we see more contact? We saw that at the beginning of the last race, contact going into 1. I assume we will see more of the same. Getting ready to race. The lights will come on and then go out again. And there it is, green flag. The race is go. The middle has the shout. Culinary, who won race 1 without brakes, gets the shot. Contact there as they go through the Joker. Big crash there by the Subaru. And now 21 of Culinary trying to play catch up here. I think that's well within striking distance as Bogdi takes the lead from Fonz up front, and Culinary, oh, and Abdul's gone around. Well, here's Culinary now trying to maintain position, stay as close as possible. Bogdi and Fonz has to take the Joker at some point. They don't do it on this occasion. Actually, yeah, Fonz does indeed do it on this occasion. And that is done and dusted, but Culinary gets through. You got to keep it close. This race between Bogdi and Culinary now, as you can just see them, is that gap big enough? I think it's going to be close. I'll tell you that. As it is, Culinary trying to make it 2 for 3, I think. I don't think he won his second race, but trying to make it 2 for 3. And no Joker on this occasion for Bogdi. We'll have it taken care of on the last lap. Incredible story out of prelim race 1. Culinary won that race. We broadcasted it here without a brake pedal, was using the e-brake the entire time, which if it was any other sport, that would be crazy. It's still not the best here, but look at this. The gap completely gone now. Culinary's pace coming into its own. The Joker being taken by Bogdi. Culinary back into the lead here. Took second place, had the whole shot, decided to take the Joker on lap 1. The smart choice, the educated choice. And it's looking like it's going to be another win. Could Culinary be our number 1 contender coming to the, not only the heats, but of course the final? Only time will tell. As Culinary is going to come across the line, win his third heat. Bogdi second. Fonz is going to finish. Oh no! A massive crash there by Fonz, and that's going to let Abdul by. How on earth did that happen? The Subaru losing it, coming to the line. Abdul through. Crazy finish there again. That's the second time in 3 races we've seen a crash coming to the line. But for Culinary, it's all going their way. And that Renault Megane serving them well. 2 wins out of 3 races is amazing what an actual functioning brake can do. Folks in chat saying Culinary is a alien at Dirt Rally. I'm starting to see that, folks. Well. Race 3, the prelims in the book, and another win for Culinary. I see. I love. I love chat here. He's Finnish. It's clearly unfair. Well, I don't necessarily consider it unfair. Perhaps Scandinavian advantage, perhaps, but absolutely brilliant driving. It's not like he's driven away on the start and it been handed to him. He's had to make passes. He's had to have clean laps, and the way that he just closed up on Bogny there was absolutely incredible stuff. He had about 2 seconds of a gap at one point between him and the leader, and it just in the course of a lap just completely disappeared. Xenia says Finn will win. Well, he's definitely winning. He was Vonsa says he was born on the gravel, molded by it. He didn't see tarmac until he was already a grown man. It's interesting, though. This track is mostly tarmac. It's 60+% tarmac, only 30, 36, 38% gravel. But, of course, the Joker's gravel on this particular occasion. Well, setting up the next race, we're hoping. Now, here's what we're hoping. We do appreciate you all bearing with us. Of course, this is the first time RCI has ever done Rallycross event, and we don't have a particularly large back end crew to do this, so the overlap time's a bit longer, but we're hoping to get quicker at it. Of course, we had to sort through some technical issues as well on the back end. And thank you, Nick, for being patient and working through that as we were able to, I think we were able to rectify that for the very most part. This is how Culinary races ACC, says Clark. I don't know about that. I don't think I've ever seen him quite that sideways. Only the northern part of Finland is part of Scandinavia. That's interesting. You're going to have to tell the makers of Truck Simulator that, because they're dead set on the entirety of the country being that. Very funny. I will tell you, Tom Bryant, that is fairly that's very apt. The racing has been very quick, obviously, with 4-lap races, but I have to say every single race has been electric. That's kind of the point of rallycross racing. The only problem with rallycross, of course, is that the infrastructure that we have to work with, but the infrastructure we're working with is not as hospitable as we're used to. But beyond that, the drivers, kudos to all the drivers that showed up for the Rallycross event, and they've absolutely put on a show, so my hat's off to them. So Finland isn't part of Scandinavia, Philip Roberts says. It's Scandia, if I remember correctly. People usually use the term Nordics to encapsulate Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Finland. Interesting. Scandinavia is named after the mountain range that creates the land from Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, and Iceland joined them to create the Nordics. But Nordics can be interchangeable with Scandinavia. So interesting. Tobias says, props for picking the best track in the game. Well, that was all Mike Jones. Actually, I mean, we talked about it briefly, Mike and I, and we sort of just agreed that obviously, I mean, he made the decision, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Of course, you got to go to hell for the very first race. It's as far as dirt rally is concerned, It is the Rallycross track that I'm most familiar with, and it's probably one of the most iconic tracks as well. Yeah, I am taking a geography lesson. I just always assumed because my North American education teaches us that there's continental Europe, there's Scandinavia, there's the Baltics, the Adriatic, and stuff like that. So that's what we're taught. Apparently, that's not correct. So there you go. Well, here we go again. Prelim round number 5. Another 4 drivers, and of course there are 3 or 4 other prelims going on at the same time. Petiator and a host of others, Fonz, Rossi, and Riot will make up our prelim number 5. Final preparations being made. I will be interested to see if Riot can right the terrible luck that they've had. Some contact, some spins, and it just hasn't gone their way. Who will emerge the winner here? I know the Fonz has been, I called him the Fonz just now, by the way. Fonz had been lurking without success finding pay dirt, and this will be the first race we've seen Petiator in the series. Of course, you have to take the Joker, etc., and so forth. Everybody ready now, getting ready to get up to the line and waiting for the lights. Waiting now for the ready to race sign. The ready to race sign is on. The countdown is on. Waiting for the green, and there is green. A very late start by Riot there, side by side for the lead. Nobody going, actually no, one person is going, 2 now going for the Joker there. Fonz, your leader, Petiator and Rossi, both going for the Joker. Now that's very interesting. The car on the inside, starting position 1, usually gets boxed in and doesn't get that option. Well, on this occasion, Petiator does get that option and takes it. So does Rossi. Fonz leading now over Riot. Riot trying to defend against Petiator. And where has Rossi gone? And there it is. Fonz in there. Oh, contact there maybe a little bit. The Fonz is through. And Riot technically in the lead here, but into the barrier there. And now losing that position. Petiator back out into the lead as they go side by side. Fonz in 3rd, Rossi 4th. Now that is a big old gap for your leader. The 14 has the biggest lead we have seen. Everybody now has taken the Joker. Annalisa Riot comes back out into 4th place. Fonz up to 2nd, Rossi 3rd, and just a massive gap, 4 seconds nearly, for your leader, as he will take it one more time. And what a dominating display it has been for the 14. Absolutely getting it done. I don't know where they got such a big lead from. Rossi, with whom they came out from the Joker with, has fallen off a big ways. Riot now trying to get 3rd place back. Desperation move perhaps. Very close, and it's going to be contact there between Riot and Rossi. Riot's going to go through. Rossi's going to go to the wall. Rossi's going to go to the wall again. Stop the car. Get it refired. Get it across the line. Pediator wins. Fawn's second. Riot will finish third, and Rossi will finish fourth. And I have to assume at some point, Riot was just tired of finishing fourth. Well, there you have it. Results confirmed from that round. Could the Spanish driver be a trouble to Culinary coming down the stretch? We'll have to find out. That was a very big gap. It ended up being about 5 seconds at the end. It was 3 seconds with 1 to go, and that was yarded out to 5. So that's how the gap has gotten out to. Absolutely incredible stuff there. Just a desperation move. Riot got close enough. Rossi potentially making a mistake there a little bit, missing the corner. And, well, it's Rallycross, people. Sometimes to make an omelet, you got to crack some eggs. And certainly Rossi will be fuming just a little bit because of that. But for Riot, it is precious points that they needed. Stubby saying this is some great racing. Yeah, that I agree with you. That is sort of a product of Rallycross, is that regardless, you're going to get some very very fast-paced action in short stints. And, well, certainly that is what you've seen here. Every single stint that they've done, it has been quite close. And there's always been, am I going crazy? I think there's always been a last lap pass somewhere in the field via contact. I think I'm right in saying. Setting up round 5 here. This is the prelims. This is basically qualifying for the heat races that will make up our final. I've just realized I actually don't know how many prelim rounds there's going to be. And I am trying to find that info. Waiting to get the next round of races set up here for RCI TV's Dirt Rally 2.0 Rallycross event, the one-off event for RCI TV. Well, I can't promise you that there'll be more contact in the ACC races that we do, but if you do like good, close and competitive racing, why not like, subscribe, hit the bell, join us for all of our other events as well. We're starting up Race Room Racing as well, and of course we're known for ACC. Of course, that being our bread and butter, we are of course branching out into other types of racing. And, well, we'd like you to come along with us. So subscribe, stay informed, and stay up to date as we continue to not only expand our knowledge base of other sims, basically by participating in those, but also bring you different kinds of motorsports as well now, which is very exciting indeed for us, and we hope that you enjoy it. Of course, we're setting up prelim round number 5. Yes, indeed. 4 prelims down. And like I do apologize. I don't actually know how many there are for that. I genuinely forgot to ask. Joe Gleason hosting a split. Stubby saying ACC is great, but people are ready for other stuff too. I agree. I agree. Absolutely nothing wrong with branching out. I'll tell you, I'm a connoisseur of baked pastry goods, and I don't necessarily have a preference. I do like a bear claw, but I also like a, what do the Brits call that, a something finger? What is that? What is that called? It's not sponge finger. I know what a sponge finger is, but that's not what I'm on about. It's called a cream finger. What is it called? Somebody help me. Somebody from the British Isles, please bail me out. What is it called again? Nick Sednick, I might be talking about an eclair, but they call it something strange there. Sponge finger is what you put at the bottom of a like a pudding, though. That's not what I mean. That's a completely different thing. But my point being, of course, is that there's a lot of people that want different kinds of cake, and it's the same thing with motorsport. Why not enjoy it all? Xenia says we want Mario Kart. Don't tempt me. Absolutely, do not tempt me, Xenius. I am I'm a Mario Kart champion, and I will plug in the Wii. Stubb says we've seen some great side by side racing in Race Room recently. That's great to hear. Yeah, Race Room lends itself to that, I think, honestly. The side by side racing, the physics of that, which apparently got the feedback anyway, got a massive overhaul. I've been talking to Jake the Bosmeister Boswell about that, and he confirmed to me, and I consider him my authority on Race Room. He says that it is completely overhauled. It's like playing a brand new game. You have to get reused to it as well. But obviously, besides that, it changes the game in Race Room, and it just adds to the experience. And that was really great to hear. I haven't actually gotten back to Race Room since they've done that update, but I always felt that way about it. I ran a few championships in it, and it's just, you can almost get stuck side by side with other people. I don't know if it's something to do with the net code or just the physics, but it lends itself to good competitive racing. And of course, now here at RCI, we have our own race room series as well. Glad to see us get back to that. Well, we have got all of our drivers together. And I'm assuming because there's 5 of them, this is. I see 5 drivers, and I'm assuming this is one of the heats now. So prelims are over, and now the points have been tabulated, which is the cause for the delay. And now we are ready for heat number 1. Greco, Mitzi, Predator, Fonz, and Culinary all together on one track. I believe the top 2 go through. I believe is how this is going to work. We had some last minute alterations once we figured that if you have 6 people in the race, it splits one off, or it splits them off into teams of 3 to race separately, and that's no good. That's not what we want. So I believe the top 2 in every heat go through to the final, plus the fastest car
you only need to take it once.
that didn't get through, I'm pretty sure is what they decided on. Well, either way, 5 cars now, and I believe it's 6 laps. Or no, it's 5 laps. Yes, indeed. I believe it's 5 laps now. The pressure's up. Now is the time. Go or go home. Top 2 automatically qualify for the finale. Waiting for the ready to race. There's the ready to race. Waiting for the greens. The lights are off and on. As an excellent shot from the outside is Culinary, and I assume it's going to immediately take the Joker, and does. Culinary taking it with the 21. Both of those cars all in chaos there. Subaru hard into the wall. Greco and Culinary have taken the Joker, and the Subaru has hit the wall. Meanwhile, they're nearly side by side. Predator and Mitzi actually swapping the lead there. Mitzi taking the lead, and all of a sudden a new leader here halfway through lap number 1. What can Predator do to get that lap or get that position back? Come up the inside, that's what he can do. Side by side, coming on the front stretch of hell. Who's going to take the Joker here? And it looks like Mitzi has taken the Joker lap, perhaps out of self-preservation. The leader now, Predator. Gurko is now the leader on the road of the cars that have taken the Joker. How has he done that? He's got by Mitzi and Culinary, and has there been contact between Fonz and Culinary? I think there might have been. I can't think of any other reason why it would be like that. Is there going to be contact here between Mitzi and Fonz? There is. There's contact there as well. Mitzi goes through. Fonz back down to 5th. Greco second, Culinary third, and Predator leading, who still has yet to do their Joker. Best I can tell, 5 laps in the race, so still a few laps left to get it done. Is Greco close enough? No, absolutely not. I don't think, well, I don't know. It's really close. We're going to have to see here. Is it Joker time for the leader? No, it is not. Waiting to the final lap. I don't hate that strategy. That's about right. Try to get as big of a gap as you can. 2.6 the current gap. And meanwhile, Culinary, which I assume had contact with Fonz or Mitzi earlier, is now trying to get that automatic spot in the finale. Has to pass Greco to do so. Or will they? Will Predator be? That might be Predator, by the way, but I'm not sure how to pronounce that. So I do apologize. We talked to the drivers before, and Predator now has done the Joker lap. Comes out between Greco and Culinary. Culinary now has a new foe. And it's going to be prelim round 4 winner, Predator. And was that contact into the wall there I just saw? I couldn't tell. Completely covered in dirt. And now it's all on the line. Look at the slide job by Culinary. The big old slide. This is for an automatic shot in the finale. Can he get him at the line? And he does. Culinary beats Predator at the line. Greco goes through. Culinary goes through. Predator, Mitzi, and Thons. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. A slide job coming to the line decides it. That is a perfect 5 for 5 for slide jobs and contact at the end. How Culinary got on the power and kept it. They were completely side by side. Folks at home, check your polls. Check your polls, folks at home, because absolutely incredible stuff. Literally half of a tenth between going through and not going through. Half of a tenth, the difference there. Greco and Culinary getting it done. And if you are the Spaniard, you will be a little bit frustrated there. But hopefully they have a quick enough lap that might be able to pull them through into the final transfer spot. Absolutely incredible stuff. Can you guys in chat absolutely believe what we just saw? Can you believe that? Can somebody, am I dreaming? Am I dreaming? I have ruined my voice. That ruined my voice. Absolutely insane. Not a last lap pass. That's not good enough for Culinary. No. Not good enough. Last turn pass uphill in hell. Getting it done, and that is how the first heat has gone. Transfer spot decided in that case. Wolf Matushka has joined us, the Pink Performance team. I guess you're technically the team owner, Wolf, is what you are. He says, that's it. I'm switching sims. Absolutely incredible stuff. Full send. I will tell you, I did have a little talk with the drivers before we went live today, and I mentioned a few things. I was like, rubbing is racing, and use your best judgment. But they cars have fenders for a reason, and I heard they're really cheap to replace. So, absolutely using all of that. But incredible stuff there. And the drive again, once again, hats off to all the teams and drivers that showed up for this one-off event. It's definitely lived up to it for me. I'm having an absolute blast here. If you're wondering where my co-commentator Mike Jones has gone, well, the simple answer is that he has, he's had to deal with some more of the technical aspects of the race. So, since this is Rallycross and we've had 5 crazy finishes in a row, I'm going to throw a curveball, and I'm going to bring Nit Setnik in. I think I am. Nick, I need somebody to talk to. No, it's fine. I told you I was going to throw him a curveball, and now I'm going to have. Yeah, I don't think they can hear you, but I'm not sure. and we'll have to find out. But I'm enjoying it. I'm out of breath at the end of every race, which is what I expected to be, but it's just on them. Every race, it's been a battle in the pack. We had, of course, the first race, it was a battle for the win, and that was very exciting. But it doesn't have to be always a battle for the win. A battle for the transfer spot is just as exciting. And you saw several drivers there in that first heat all racing as hard as they could to get there. And at the end, it comes down to a complete full send. That man might as well have been wearing a postman's outfit because he licked the stamp and he sent it. And that's what it takes. And that is what it's going to take. I hope, because now we're doing one heat at a time, prelims are over. So those that are coming up to do their heat can sit and watch the previous race now. I hope they do. And now they see how high the stakes are and they understand what they have to do. And they're going, look, sometimes you don't need friends. Okay. And in rallycross racing, you don't have friends. You can have friends right up until the point where the lights go off. But at that point, you forget. It's like, doesn't matter if the person you're racing against has given you a kidney, maybe you forget that for 5 laps. Oh dear. Well, I'm having a lot of fun. Thank you for your kind words in the chat, Wolf and crew. I do appreciate that. Of course, this is our first ever one of these, and technical difficulties has changed the game plan a little bit. But beyond that, of course, I'm still having a boatload of fun. This I don't know how Heat 2 is going to follow that, but we're getting it set up for you, that I promise. I'm looking at the drivers coming into the lobby, onto the line here. And I'm trying to pick a favorite. That first heat was ram-packed. And they are filtering into the line. Heat number 2, top 2 cars in the race automatically transfer. We will have, I think, a 5th spot. I believe we'll have a 5th spot that is based on the fastest time in the heats of those that did not automatically transfer. I believe that's what was discussed with the drivers in the meeting. I was at that meeting. I also was listening to rap metal in my ear while I was at that meeting. If you don't know what rap metal is, Google's your friend for that one. I don't even know if rap metal's even a thing anymore, to be honest with you. Anyway, moving on. Do appreciate all of your patience and dealing with and helping us, allowing us to deal with some of our back end problems. What do we got here? Xenia says, does somebody have friends? Thinking emoji. I suppose some people do. Farago 2 says, imaginary friends are a truly beautiful thing. Well, at least imaginary friends don't get mad at you whenever you take the transfer spot away from them on the final turn. So there is that. Well, here we go. Heat number 2. Once again, the top 2 transfer into the final. 5 drivers, 5 laps, and 1 shot at victory. Peter Roche, Jack Bogdy, Jostrup, and Berries are the
Use
5
the joker
cars.
lap to your advantage.
Look
You
at
only
all
need
of
to take
those
it once. If you
nationalities.
miss it,
You
get a time
absolutely
penalty.
love to see it. As many nationalities as there are flags in the stands. And they will drive up to the line. We've seen the inside be your best friend and also your worst enemy. We've seen how beneficial taking the Joker on the opening lap can be. Waiting for the ready to race. The lights are on. Ready to race is on. And the light is off. Waiting for green. The green. And Jastrup gets a fantastic start from the middle. Will they take the Joker? They do immediately take the Joker. Brilliant job. If they don't get held up in traffic, I think that could be a winning move. Contact up in front of them. Bogdy's gone off. That will do nothing but hurt his chances as he has to very quickly recover and get back on the horse. Jack leading the race right now over Berries. Berries, who started in that 5th place position, has turned that into a fantastic start. Side-by-side contact between them, and Jacob's gone off, and he's lost that spot back down to 3rd now. Oh, a car sideways into turn 1. Who was that now? Who was that was sideways by themselves? Was that Berries, perhaps? I think it might have been. So Jacob and Berries now find themselves tail on the field. Jastrup, who has already taken their Joker lap, and I think that was Berries off again, and was. More contact there as door to door, they are fighting for it tooth and nail. More contact coming to the line now. Jastrup, who is in front, nearly going over, was Peter Roche there. Oh my goodness, talking about hitting the corner, or hitting the jump sideways. Little argy-bargy here as everybody now has done their Joker lap. Bogdy, who was 2nd, has completed their Joker and has fallen down to 4th place. Berries, of course, who had a couple of spins back there with him. Jastrup and Peter Roche. Look at this, Peter Roche getting a fender in there, rubbing fenders with Jastrup trying to get that position away over the crest and into each other. Final lap, I believe. Who is going to win this race? They are still side by side. Rubbing down the hill, back into the dirt, trying the crossover move, going a bit wide, but still side by side. Look at this, 3rd place is up there, and that's Jacob. Jacob's used them. It's gonna be a 3-wide race, and backwards is one of the cars completely out of the race and off the course. Cutting the course now, is that Jacob? Will Jacob come through? They will, cutting the course. Jacob wins and Jastrup 2nd. No, there's one more lap, in fact. I miscounted. One more lap, and they're still side by side. Absolutely incredible stuff. They are still side by side. I'm gonna pass out. Oh no, contact there with Jacob, and all of a sudden, Bogdy is back in the race. Can you believe it? Could Bogdy be the Cinderella story here? Bogdy and Berries back in it. It's gonna be Bogdy back into the lead and to the line. Bogdy. No, it's not gonna be Bogdy. What happened there? Turning again, Jacob beats Berries. Berries was nearly half a lap down. How did that happen? Jacob, Berries, Jastrup, Peter Ocean, Bogdy are your finishing position. Bogdy got spun. No, Bogdy didn't get spun. Bogdy won that race. I'm being told by my producer, Nick Setnick, he had a 5-second penalty. And that is going to eliminate Bogdy, I think. Jacob wins. Berries 2nd. Jastrup 3rd. And Roche 4th. I'm going to pass out. Oh, my goodness. I do apologize for screaming, but I am going to be screaming. And I have been doing, but what an incredible race. 3 or 4 wide there, coming to get the one to go. I do apologize. I miscounted the laps. I was I was so excited. I assume I counted a Joker lap as an additional lap for the leaders by accident there. But beside the point, what a fantastic race! 3 wide and then 2 wide at the end, fighting for it hard. And you got to give to Bogdy, gave it everything they could, but the Dirt Rally 2.0 stewards, of course, there is no live stewarding or stewarding of any kind for this particular series or events. So everything that goes on like that goes on in the sim and is done by the AI. So obviously we didn't here at RCI, we don't have stewards for that, and I assume that's due to a track cut or something. Is how you get that, which wouldn't surprise me. They were 3 and 4 wide. They were going off the track. It was bound to happen. That's our first penalty of the day, I'm pretty sure. And well, it will be a moral victory for Bogdai, as his name may be. I do apologize. I'm a Yankee Doodle and I don't pronounce names very well. But that all being said, what a fantastic race. And for Barry's, Barry's was spun at the end of lap 2 to get all the way back. Absolutely incredible job. And I don't know what to say. That is, by the way, for those of you counting at home, that is a perfect 6 for 6 for last lap passes. Brilliant stuff. I wonder if my producer can tell me, are we setting up for the finale right here? Okay, there might be one more. Yeah, so this is the final. So I'm curious what driver had the quickest lap. I'll be able to tell you here in just a moment as the cars get lined up on the grid. So we've had 2 heats. The top 2 automatically go through, and the 5th car will be the fastest single lap time in the race. That obviously didn't automatically qualify by racing in. And I'm very curious what that's going to look like. And if you're wondering, hey, aren't there normally 6 cars in a Rallycross final? The answer to that is yes, there usually are. Dirt Rally 2.0 does a weird thing when you try to do that. And so basically we are limited to 5. But beside the point, it doesn't matter. They're going to be all over each other as we prepare for the final. I'm going to take a momentary break, and I will be right back as the cars grid up for the RCI TV Dirt Rally 2.0 Rallycross event final. Stick around. You're going to want to see this. my very, very poor eyesight looking at that. So don't take that to the bank quite yet, but we are waiting. Oh, wait, no, we're not. No, we have our 5, in fact. Never mind. We have our 5. Your final will consist of Greco, Culinary, Pediator, Berries, and Jacob. I'm trying to figure out how you pronounce that name. Is it Potator? Potatois? Reading chat here as always. Clark says that was awesome. Bart Macha says Jesse EXE has stopped working. Xenius Epic War. And our very own broadcaster, RCI TV, by the way, that's my broadcaster, Nick Setnick. You hear me talk about him. I tried to get him on comms. Obviously, something Gremlin in the machine can't get him on comms, but I can hear him in my earpiece. And I can confirm he was crying. The moment that I realized there was an extra lap, he lost it. But Ferengo says, breathe. The Atrum says, great last couple of laps. Stubby saying it makes it more exciting. Thank you very much. And Ryan Barrington Smith, last race of the night. Let's make it another good one. I couldn't agree more. Well, folks, here we go. This is the finale of the inaugural Dirt Rally 2.0 Rallycross event. Thank you for rolling with the punches, sticking it out with me and the crew. And this is it. Jacob will have position 1. Berries will have position 2. Pediator will have position 3. Culinary in 4. And Greco in 5. And I don't know if this is a 5 or 6 lap race. We're going to have to play it by ear. I'm being told by my beautiful broadcaster, Nick Setnick, it is a 5 lap event, 5 cars, 5 laps to determine a champion here today. Somebody will be crowned the inaugural RCI TV Rallycross champion here from hell in Norway. Waiting for the lights, waiting for ready to race on. The lights are off. It's green, and the final is green, and it's 5 wide going down into turn 1 as they all sort it out. The vast majority go for the Joker. Culinary, the only car that didn't go for the Joker. Jacob holds on, now loses the lead, and they go off the track there, battling each other. One car backwards, that's Jacob from the number 1 position to being backwards. Well, if Barry's taught me anything, that means that he's probably going to win the race. We'll have to sit and find out. Culinary out front, been so dominant this weekend. Can anybody get up there and fight with Culinary? It's going to take some doing. 4 seconds, the gap between him and Barry's. Barry's takes 2nd place from Greco. Greco fighting back, trying to take that position back. Culinary has taken his Joker lap, and he's out front by 1.25 seconds. That might be all he needs to win this whole event. Barry's and Greco, though, still fighting it out for the 2nd place position. Predator 4th and Jacob 5th. That is your current listing as they're banging doors side by side. Oh, and nearly going over is Greco. The full send. Absolutely brilliant stuff as they're all single file here for the time being. Jacob, of course, after that spin right here, in fact, in this section, is quite a ways behind, but everybody else stacked up. It's only going to take one driver to get side by side with somebody else before they all get stacked up here. Well, Predator has caught Barry's for the 2nd place position as Greco falls a little bit off of the back. This is a battle for 2nd place. Predator seems to have the speed. I don't know if they can catch Culinary in 1st. but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a fight here for second place. Unless I lost count, I think they're coming to 2 to go this time by. Oh, looking up the inside, Predator, but can't quite get it done. The Spaniard going for it, and I believe that's 2 to go, but I've been wrong before. Barry still holds on to that position, still actually catching the leader, Culinary, here a little bit, perhaps spurred on by the driver behind. And all of a sudden now has a little bit of a gap. Has Barry's found something here? The gap coming down again. It was 1.3. It's now 0.7 of a second. It's getting closer all the time. Oh, and a big old slide. Predator behind, trying to get as much as he can. They're going to be side by side. Did Culinary miss the corner? It doesn't matter. That was the last lap, and it's going to be the win for Culinary. Culinary wins RCI's inaugural Dirt Rally Rallycross event. Congratulations. Barry second. Predator will fill out our podium. Greco and Jacob are the top 5 finishers here today. And wouldn't you believe it? The man that we saw in prelims dominate comes back from a middle of the pack start, has the pace, and wins it. But folks, it was only just 0.2 of a second. The difference between him and Barry's. Barry's was coming, just ran out of time. Culinary, your winner.
Ooh, my pulse. It's like 200.
And here we are, joined by Culinary himself. What a couple of races you had. First of all, did you go perfect in your prelims? Obviously, we didn't see all of those.
Almost. I had 1 second place, but the rest I won.
So you won all of them. You placed second, and then you go on to your heat and you run well. But to talk us through that final, you were in the middle of the pack. Did you ever panic or calm, cool, and collected? What was it like for you?
Well, actually, I made a mistake going into turn 1 when I overcooked with the Joker lap. But yeah, after I actually thought the top 3 go through, so I wasn't panicking at all. Then I saw a gap opening in the last corner. I just sent it.
You absolutely sent it. I gotta say, what a race though you just had. It was. Were you losing pace, or were you just sort of trying not to make a mistake there? The gap did come down by over a second there. What happened?
I caught too much slide going into the last corner, and I had understeer, and I couldn't use the handbrake at all. So I was just hoping the car would turn, and it did with a little wall tap.
Well, you won the first ever RCI Rallycross event, but it looked easy on paper, Culinary, but it wasn't. You raced that first prelim, you won that first prelim, and you didn't have a break. What happened?
I don't know. I'm just used to driving, I think.
I just want to point out that Greco was celebrating that he beat you in the semifinal.
Yeah, he beat me. He's my teammate, so we're gonna have a talk about after the race.
I don't think you're gonna hear the end of that one.
Well, Greco's probably gonna say, "Well, I beat him in the semis, so and he won, which means that I'm better than him." That's how that works, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, congratulations on a fantastic couple of races there. You had to come back, and you did 0 to hero, and then in the finale, absolutely doing what you do best. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I would like to thank the Charlier community to supporting me through this whole event. I can see the chats in the live stream, so thank you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here, and a shout out again to the Jardier community. They're a big part of everything we do here at RCI, and I didn't realize that coming in that this was part of the Jardier community team. So good job there. Well, Mike Jones, I yelled so loud that I nearly passed out.
I did hear that, and Nico, again, congratulations, man. And I'll let you go celebrate with Greco.
Thank you.
But yeah, Jesse, I heard that. Unfortunately, I ended up having to do a little bit more coordination than commentating, and I was having some technical issues myself. Anyway, so is what it is. But I was obviously watching you commentate over it, and I am sad to have not participated in this, especially those semifinals. Absolute chaos, I think, is the word we were
Oh,
saying in
four
the driver's
wide.
box. Four
Four
wide.
wide
And then
for the lead.
Roche launching over the start finish line on the second to last lap and almost rolling himself. It was amazing to watch. Like such fantastic driving from these guys.
Yeah, a big shout out to all of the coordination staff here at RCI and abroad, because we had to bring in other people to help work this event. We thank you for your expertise. We thank you for your feedback and your help in setting up this event. A big thank you to Nick Setnick, our broadcaster, who is a big trooper here today, pulling triple duty at certain times, trying to get things working. And Mike, I know it's not exactly what you envisioned it going off like, but well done to you as well, because it came off. It was absolutely fantastic stuff. And of course, a big thank you to everybody out there that watched. You guys and gals are the best. You're the best crowd that we could ever have. And thank you for coming out. We hope that you enjoyed that. And I realize I made a tactical blunder here, Mike Jones. This isn't my last event for the day. I've got to
It's not.
calm over.
And I've got to jump in and race, and Nick's got to go out and do birthday things, I guess. So.
Yeah, by the way, I was gonna do this right at the end so he couldn't stop me from doing it, but I'm gonna do it now anyway, because you've triggered him. You've triggered it. Nick Setnick, our broadcaster, he just turned the big 3-0. He's in his 30s now. He's an old man. And on behalf of everybody here at RCI, happy birthday, Nick Setnick. And can we get a happy birthday, Nick, in chat for the old man in his 30s? Can you believe it? He's nearly as old as me.
So the play, Nick, here was that my birthday was on Tuesday, and we didn't have a broadcast. So nobody knew. So you made mistakes.
Happy birthday, Nick. I'd sing the song, but I can't. I can barely talk at this point.
Anyway, all right, guys. Well, Night Owl. I'm hoping to be out on the track, and with Mr. Gill behind the cameras, but I might be behind the cameras here in a couple hours. We'll be back for the Night Owl race at Spa today, continuing our ICGT tour through the Night Owl series. Race 2, Laguna, was definitely an interesting one, and I'm excited to get out on the track. Hopefully, if not, I will be back with Jesse Lee and Ryan Mawson in a couple hours. Thanks once again to our partners. Jesse, I'm sure you've said it a couple times, but Race Department, AK Informatica, Driver 61, Fanatec, and of course Sim Racing GP. If you guys need some driver coaching inside of ACC, you might not get some in Dirt Rally. Discount link in the description, as well as on the Discord for Driver 61. You go get a consultation for like $10 minus the 25% that you're going to get from the discount code. Get yourself a coaching session and check it out. Totally worth it. It's a fantastic service. And we'll see you in a couple hours.